What's up, fellas? Alex here. I know we've been talking a lot about the victim or the reaction to Charlie Kirk, but I want to talk about now the person who is being charged with assassinating Charlie Kirk. Schizos, listen up. You win this round. Not gonna lie, I think I'm with the schizos on this one. I think I'm with the conspiracy theorists, boys, but I'm gonna explain why. I'm not usually this kind of person. I mean, I like to think outside the box. A lot of you guys are going to say, and already are saying, Israel. But I just want to go over my thoughts on why I think this whole thing is a little sketchy. And you guys can comment down below. I'm sure a lot of you are going to agree with this in some capacity. I think this one actually might be weirder than Trump's situations. The first thing I want to say, though, is when I'm talking initially, go back, guys. When you initially first heard of Charlie Kirk being shot, honestly, guys, everyone's first thought was it was a professional hitman, remember? And that's what I thought as well. And to be honest, the very first thing I thought was maybe not even, it was most likely someone aligned with LGBTQ because Charlie Kirk obviously butted heads with that community. Honestly, Matt Walsh a lot more, but if anything, I thought they'd target Matt Walsh first before Charlie Kirk. But what I also thought, was, could this be business related? Because Charlie Kirk is a very powerful person. He more than Ben Shapiro. People don't realize, yes, Ben Shapiro is very important with his business, Daily Wire, but Daily Wire's influence has been crumbling significantly. It does not have nearly as much influence as Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA has become this giant powerhouse that has helped Trump get into office. Turning Point USA has changed a lot of the conversation with the younger audience with politics with Gen Z, if you've been paying attention. Turning Point USA is very powerful. A lot of people would benefit from taking out Charlie Kirk and ruining Turning Point USA, kind of similarly to what they did with James O'Keefe and Project Veritas. I think that's what they were trying to do with Turning Point USA, has become too powerful, and they were trying to take it down. Whether that's going to be the case in the future, we'll see. If that does happen, this video is going to age very well. Another thing I want to point out is it has come to light that Charlie Kirk was now pushing against war with Iran. I guess he went to the president, he was very close to President Trump, told President Trump that, the younger generations in Gen Z and his audience did not want a war with Iran. And Trump pretty much told him, we're going to do what we have to do if necessary, but we hear you, blah, blah, blah. And according to people like Megyn Kelly and other voices, they were now saying that Charlie Kirk's donors were not very happy with where the direction, I guess, slowly over time, Charlie was slowly going against Israel, very slowly. He was a staunch ally of Benjamin Netanyahu and a staunch ally of Israel, but he was starting to question it a little bit, which is that's a big no-no. And people were also starting to notice some similarities also with President Trump's messages and Benjamin Netanyahu's at the same time. And there does seem to be, it was kind of weird how Israel and some of these other countries all of a sudden were mourning Charlie Kirk randomly. Now, that being said, that's more of an Israel connection, but I also want to say that I think it's interesting, this Tyler Robinson person, 22 years old, gaunt, very skinny, just a weird background, MAGA family. And honestly, he kind of reminded me, from pictures, the very first thought I had was actually Adam Lanza from Connecticut with Sandy Hook. And I'm from Connecticut, so that hits home with me. But he just had that same weird look to him. And honestly, that same weird look is just like the guy from Butler that almost killed President Trump. It's like they're recruiting an army of ghouls to take these people out. And they have the same figure. They're all white, young white males that same gaunty look to them. You guys they look like fucking zombies, man. Look, they haven't eaten they need a fucking pizza or something. And he all these cameras, and the FBI couldn't find him for so long. All these cameras, in the footage also, he ducked from the camera. Not to mention, how does he have the time to place the rifle in the woods with the towel? And also the weird cartridges messages also very similar to Luigi Mangione, which no one is talking about for some odd reason. They're not making that connection, which obviously, even if it was a setup, that's obviously a copycat from Luigi Mangione, who did the same thing with writing the things on the casings. It's just bizarre, man. I'm getting really weird feelings on this one, fellas. It just doesn't make sense. And I know some people are going to bring up the fact that people in the audience at the time were doing some very weird things with him. I don't know about that. Yeah, a little weird, but that's not really what makes me weirded out by it. I'm more concerned, and some people also are going to bring up this random flight that took off at the same time of the shooting and went back, I believe, to the Middle East. I can't confirm that. Some people will bring that up. I'm more concerned why does it just not feel right to me? You know, it just doesn't seem like a slam dunk. And you go throughout history and you see these shootings, Martin Luther King, RFK, JFK, the guy who shot Ronald Reagan, the guys who attempted to kill Trump, and now Charlie Kirk and all. They always just seem to be some random person, you know, with not much affiliation. You think there would be an affiliation, but there's not. It's just some random person almost recruited. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me, guys, is that why this guy? And if he's being set up, why isn't he saying anything? That's the only thing that doesn't make sense about these conspiracy things with me, is that, okay, let's say that it's all a conspiracy and they're all set up. Why this guy? Why isn't he saying anything? Is he getting paid to do this? How much money? Is his family involved? These are questions that also need to be asked that also don't make sense. All I know is at the end of the day, that's a great shot for a 22-year-old who is gaunt looking like that, very nerdy looking, Adam Lanza type. Then again, Adam Lanza, I mean, in an evil way, was successful, unfortunately. Not the guy in Butler. But it just, to me, something doesn't add up. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know. And not to mention the FBI, man, dropping the ball. Like, that was a lot of time not catching this guy. We have so much technology now, so many cameras. It just so happens to be in the hallways. He's going down the hallways. He knows exactly where the cameras are, ducking the cameras. I mean, he knows which roof to go on. He planned all this out. And after Butler, nobody's seeing those roofs. There's no drones. Perfect shot. Well, some people wouldn't say perfect, but it worked. He had the time to just put it in the woods. And the other thing, I was hearing that he had time to message his friends on Discord to go pick up the gun, but Discord is now saying those don't exist. Someone's lying. Someone's full of shit. Probably Discord. What do you guys think? Obviously, people are going to say Israel, Israel, Israel. I know that's coming, but is it that simple? But something just seems off to me with this as well. I honestly, guys, I think where I come from the most is that Turning Point USA was a very successful political business. that helped Trump get in office, that would have helped J.D. Vance and probably will get in office to be president? Is it possible that Charlie Kirk was getting too powerful, asking wrong questions, and got taken out? It is true, guys, that he was against the war in Iran. It is true that he was pushing back against, he was getting severe pushback from donors. A lot of money involved. I'm not really surprised from the, I'm more surprised, guys, also. My first thought was like, okay, radical leftists. Why Charlie Kirk? I know they don't like Charlie Kirk, but there's, like we said before, there's so many other people that are, you would think they'd take out Fuentes or Matt Walsh. Why Kirk? It makes me think it's business related, and that would lead to what most of you are gonna say down below, which is the country in the Middle East. Just my thoughts on the matter. I mean, obviously I could be wrong. Maybe it is Tyler Robinson. Maybe it's a 22-year-old who, also the other thing, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but how did he get the gun? Where'd the gun go? I saw the video of him jumping down, but I didn't see the gun. Unless I could be wrong. Where'd the gun go? That's another thing someone's going to bring up. And they said it in the press conference. They're trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out? Is there an accomplice? Was there someone else? Did someone else take the gun and he was the fall guy? Like, what's going on here? A lot of questions. To me, it's not yeah, it could be Tyler Robinson. Maybe I'm being crazy. But it's not a slam dunk. It's definitely not a slam dunk. People are going to ask questions about this for a long time. Something don't add up. Something wrong. But let me know what you guys think down below, and take care.